If you struggle with communication when dealing with insurance claims that actually moves that process forward, then this is the conversation for you. My name is AJ. I'm the co-founder and CEO of ProLine, the CRM that sells more jobs. And today I was sitting down with CJ Tassel of Gladstone, which is a brand new AI tool that actually assists in the communication process of insurance claims to help contractors nail that communication every time. Let's get into it. All right, so we're here at the International Roofing Expo, and I'm joined today by CJ Tassel with Gladstone. Thank you for joining me, CJ.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk through it. So Gladstone's fairly new.
Yeah.
So let's tell the contractors watching, if you would, just give the elevator pitch on what is Gladstone.
Absolutely. So we just announced Gladstone 2 weeks ago to the public. That it exists. It's something that Chris, John, and I have been working on for pretty much the past year. And what we found is one of the main areas contractors end up struggling, and that makes insurance claims just really painful to work on, is the communication side of things. Even if you know the exact right thing to say, have all the evidence of why something should be done or done right or something is needed, communicating that well and in a timely manner is difficult. Like, you might have an inspection and you finally get that text back that the adjuster finally responded and the homeowner said, hey, what do we say next? What's our next step here? And you go, man, I've got 2 more inspections today. I've got a contract later. And I need to take 30 minutes to dig into this, look at the documentation I have, look at the insurance summary, look at my previous communication with the homeowner, and get back up to speed on where I'm at. But it's not hard to look at an email right there and go, yep, that's exactly what I want to say. So we've taken the decades worth of training and knowledge that Chris and John have and have kind of distilled that down into a system that will do the analysis, create the communication for you so you can review, verify, and send with confidence.
That's fantastic. So I love that situation you're painting, the picture where it's like contractors overwhelmed. They got a lot going on. The last thing they can afford to do is just sit there and think through all that information, figure out what to say. And so this is going to help them come up with that quickly.
Yes.
And so give them something that they can then shoot back to homeowner, hey, next step, say this.
Absolutely.
Okay. Is that the primary use case, is like where they're assisting the homeowner, or can they also assist with the contractor's direct communication as well?
So typically it's the contractor's either direct communication with the adjuster or with the homeowner. Oftentimes, we know that claims are not the contractors, they're the homeowners, and the homeowner is the one who actually has the most powerful voice. So really, it doesn't serve contractors to be always going, hey, I'm going to get this handled for you. It's really often best that communication comes from the homeowner, and that requires the contractor to communicate it well to them.
Yeah.
So we actually have some advanced features in the tool that will allow the contractor to decide who's this coming from and who's it going to, and tailor the communication well. That's to the exact market that needs to hear it.
Yeah, that's really cool. What a great application of AI. And I imagine there's a big part of this is AI, right? Is you're generating.
Yes, absolutely. And I really think with AI, the thing that makes it useful is when it's a force multiplier. It's not going to take over. It's not going to be responsible for everything, but it can take somebody who's knowledgeable and knows the right direction, has the right heart on how to do things, and give them the ability to do it faster, quicker. And that's why our kind of model is input, review, verify, send, because that review and verify is very important for the contractor to make sure that they realize that you are still responsible before you send out. Just because an AI makes it doesn't mean it's 100% correct. Obviously, we've got so many guardrails in place to make sure that our tooling is creating accurate information. But whatever you send out, you are responsible for, and that directly impacts the lives of other people, especially when you're talking about roofing and claims and making sure that that's done well.
Yeah. Human accountability. Human accountability is so valuable, and I think a lot of people didn't realize that until now. And then people are starting to realize, like, oh, you got to have a human being that's responsible for this. You can't just completely hand it off. So, no, that's phenomenal. And my filter is always... my primary filter when it comes to technology and AI is, does this help improve the customer experience?
Yes.
And what a yes on this. Like, being able to enable contractors to quickly shoot back to the homeowner the right thing to say, the right communication. I mean, that's hands down is going to improve that experience.
100%, especially for new contractors. People who are getting into this space, we know that insurance has gotten much more complicated. And training somebody up, like I came into this space a couple years ago. And even since then, it's changed. And I'm looking at say I want to invite a friend to come in. I'm like, man, I've got to prepare you for what this process is going to be like. This is what you need to know. This is what you need to communicate. This is what you need to understand. This is how you need to communicate it to a homeowner. This is how you need to communicate it to the adjuster. But being able to say, okay, yes, this is all that you need to do. This is going to walk alongside you in this process. And you, as somebody who's 1, 2, 3 months in, is still able to communicate with the poise and experience of somebody who's been doing it for 15 years. And you're going to learn as you're doing. You're going to look at it and go, well, it's starting off, you might see the path and go, okay, I see the explanation of why it's going this way. You're going to get to the point where you're looking at it going, I know exactly where it's going, and have a little bit more confidence in as you're going through and learning.
The contractor starts to learn alongside it. So it's not only is it helping the contractor to provide that better experience and say things that are better and have all a benefit from that experience, but then the contractor is also leveling up at the same time.
Absolutely.
I love that. What can you tell me a little bit about the story of how Gladstone came to be? Like, how did you guys get here to where you're deciding like this needs to be a thing and then working on launch?
100%. And I think the most successful things are the things that people end up building, using internally, and then going, all right, there's other people that are facing this challenge that I'm facing. Let me bring it to them. So really, to get to that, we actually have to go back to the start of Chris and John working together and teaching and training a couple years ago, and the start of Master Your Craft, which started because they were doing classes, and they're sponsored to do classes all around the nation. Yeah. And people would come up and say, how do I get more of these? And we realized people are retaining it, but you only retain maybe 20% of what you get in a class.
Yeah.
And then you go home and try to teach your staff that, and like, well, they're only retaining 20%. That's 4% of actually what's getting to your people. So
wow, yeah,
that training, we need to get something that's in their offices every month. So Master Your Craft started doing 3 classes every month, live training for people, and they're retaining it. And even as we have these contractors who know what they're doing, are really studying well, trying to apply everything the best that they can, they're still running into an issue where communicating it well ended up being something that 90% of the calls that Chris and John were fielding were like, how would you say this? Like, I'm saying this, and like, I know this is the principle, I know this is why this is right, and I have the evidence for why it's right, but I can't seem to get it to that point. How would you say it? And so at that point, we looked at the fact, like, okay, do we train more on communication? Like, yes, absolutely, let's do that. But is there another way that we can help kind of close that gap? One of the things that we found to be true, and John says this a lot, if your communication is a 9, if your skill level's a 9 and your communication's a 4, your effectiveness is, so is there another way that we can bridge that communication gap? And we found, yes, there is. That's a way that we could actually leverage AI to be a very useful tool in taking this and putting it together for people. So instead of generating it all, they're reviewing it, and they're able to move a lot more smoothly and quickly. So that's really where it came from, was hearing the needs of our existing customers going, hey, I'm struggling with this. This is an area that we need more on. And you're like, well, we can do that. We found a way to make it work, and then we built Gladstone. We're beta testing it with a couple of our existing clients now, and they're finding success in it. We're moving to an early access of a limited number of contractors here in the next couple of months. That's one of the things we've been signing up a lot of people here for, is that early access wait list. And meeting with other companies to see how does this play with other tools, because there's so many cool tools that are out there for people to use to multiply their effectiveness. And so we're having conversations like this.
I love it. Well, yeah, our thing is what sets us apart. Our USP is communication for our CRM platform. Is like, how do we help contractors be more effective with communication? So yeah, huge alignment here.
Absolutely.
It's like we're going after the same goal, different angles on it. So it's very complimentary. But yeah, man, I couldn't agree more. That's such a great way to think about it. Of like, doesn't matter how good you are, if your communication is here, that's the cap.
Yep.
That's the cap on how effective you can be. So that's phenomenal. What would you say is the top 3 questions so far? Because I know it's only been a couple weeks, but so far, what's been the top 3 questions you're getting from contractors about Gladstone?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let me think about that for a second.
Yeah, take your time.
Let's see.
I'm running out of questions, so I'm forcing you to come up with questions.
Yes. No, I love that. So one of the questions we always get asked is this going to send it for me? Because I think that would invalidate our premise that, like, this still needs to be human controlled. As the contractor, you should be responsible for what you're sending out, and that's just unnecessary liability. So it's not sending it for you. 2, the next question is this just for me to send it to an adjuster, or is this for me to send to a homeowner? And I say it's what you need in that scenario. It's automatically going to create it from Contractor. responding to claims. Actually, it will actually check against your emails if you've connected your emails, and it will see the flow of communication. If you've been communicating with the homeowner, it's going to tailor it more towards that. If you've been communicating directly with the adjuster, it's going to tailor it towards that. But you have the agency to go in there and say, hey, I need this to go from sender A to sender B, whether that's homeowner to contractor, contractor to homeowner, homeowner to adjuster. You have that freedom and agent. So we want you to be in control of your voice. And then, see, the last question I get asked is, how quickly can I get to using this? Which is my favorite question. And almost, but not yet. So we're working on that, getting some of the last things finalized to make sure we're able to have it functional in all these different states. We've got different regulations, but still making sure that it's going to continue that ability for people to have their voice and use that training with them.
That's phenomenal. For contractors that want to get involved as quickly as possible, so they want to start testing and working with this, what's the way for them to get on the list?
So our website, which is app.bakerstreetsolutions.org. Baker Street Solutions is the parent company that is creating Gladstone. App.bakerstreetsolutions.org. There's a button on there that says apply for early access. Fill that out. It's just 3 to 4 minutes. We just want to know what your kind of business is like. We want to know if you're going to be able to give us feedback and take that time. And we want to know what success looks like for you. That's one of the questions in there. What does a successful early access time for you look like? We want to save you time. We want you to be more successful. So go there, fill that out. We'd be happy to have you.
That's fantastic. CJ, thanks so much.
I appreciate it.